everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Two wide receivers will be looking to be #1 targets on the field in today's game. It's Green's Bengals going up against Browns Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, it's a rematch from last year's AFC wildcard round between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think you identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. On the return, it's Brandon Tate. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by a two-time Pro Bowler in his 6th season. It's Andy Dalton.
And in 2015, prior to hurting his thumb and being unable to finish the season, you just heard his teammates rave about Andy Dalton's jump in leadership, where he actually took over the team, really assumed the role of being the starting quarterback, and carried himself that way as well.
They come out here in the eye. Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard. And some room to roam now. They'll get 32 yards there. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati first down.
And so much of today's football goes back to the old West Coast offense and scripting plays to start. Sometimes you script to attack. Sometimes you script to find out information. In this case, they got both. They attack for a big gain, and they have information that tells them we might want to come back to that play later.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Again, here's Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Six yards to go here on second down. Dalton throwing on second down. And he fires one incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll lead here to a third down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger, But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Tyler Eifert has become one of the most reliable red zone targets in the league. Personally, I think he's one of the most reliable targets, period, and there's no doubt Andy Dalton's going to look for him in this situation.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense. Still 3rd down.
Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. Dalton bootlegs out. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Brandon LaFell, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
Yeah, how many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
Got a man open. It's Darius Hayward-Bay. They'll get 16 yards there. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Now Bell trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made that time by Michael Johnson. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. After the penalty, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's got time in the pocket. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Johnson with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bengals take possession. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage?
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play. Dalton to his favorite target, Green. 54 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They go play action here on first down. And there's a flag on the play. And that is incomplete.
Offense. Still first down.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Second down, Dalton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Play action now. Dalton. Trying to get it to LaFell, but it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And Ben goes down in the end zone, and that'll be a safety. And how about the big boy, the D tackle there, feasting on the O-line, getting his squad 2 points.
The glory guys are the defensive ends and the outside linebackers. They create the pressure from the edge, but those big fellas inside that can collapse a pocket, sometimes they get rewarded too.
Extra round at the post-game buffet. The Steelers defense, we watch them get set to go.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction and maybe another pick.
There's Big Mo. He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run again with Bernard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Now a first carry for their fullback. No gain on the play there. Second down. 10 yards still left on second down. They come out here in the eye. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Here's Jones. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. He drops it off for Bernard. 1 quarter in the books. 9-0 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Carry for Bernard. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Bernard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jeremy Hill, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point coming now for Nugent. And the lead will grow by one more. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8, now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Roethlisberger, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And what a rise it's been for Antonio Brown. Back in 2010 was a 6th-round pick of the NFL draft. And now this year in virtually every fantasy league, he's the #1 pick.
And I always rely on you for fantasy football information because I know you're fully immersed in that world. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't normally a running back the first guy off the board and everybody wants this guy now?
Depending on league stats, but yes, they usually go running back first, but not this year.
But let's just give it to Antonio Brown, who's worked himself into not just the #1 guy on the fantasy boards, but maybe the #1 receiver in the entire NFL due to his work ethic, great big playability, and incredible spirit.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal?
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On now, Chris Boswell. He was 29 of 32 in the field goal department last year as a rookie. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit? It got his man complete. A gain of 35 that time. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Get this one down to about the 17. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Back now, as I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Well, thank you. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Old school defensive tackle play dictators just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle it. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past it, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
And after the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, partner, now that the regular season is here, the fantasy football drafts are in the books. But I envy you, my friend, because you don't do fantasy football, so you don't have to watch an angst and cheer for certain players, you're neutral.
But what I keep hearing from everyone and just observing throughout the season, I'm missing a whole lot of fun because people are locked in and making sure their rosters are set. So now, as we head towards week 1, I know you and the rest of the people who are playing, make sure you've got everything set up so you don't miss it, right? Because otherwise that can ding you each and every week, correct?
Correct. That's why, I don't know, I enjoy your cool, calm, and collective nature without fantasy football, though. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And quickly, they get to the line. They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off, William Gay. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Well, so they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since big. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Hayward Bay has it over the middle. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll begin here with Bernard. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Geno Atkins, in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Jones on the return. Oh, he slipped right by him. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Dalton now, the pass. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
This will be Dalton again. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and just like that, it's third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Brought in by Coates. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So his third field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question. They need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, Now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. Third down from the gun. Dalton. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Kevin Huber now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They go play action here on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Now, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. Now Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Here's Dalton. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Wheaton with a catch right side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And this is caught by Hayward Bay. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game, really at the point of attack. The offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Still 2nd down.
Roethlisberger to throw on second down. His throw incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it'll be 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. That is caught. 22 yards on the pickup there. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
That was 4th and a mile. Almost 4th, and why are you doing this? I mean, they got it done, though. Went up and got it. What a big-time pickup.
I was just going to say that. It's a receiver. You got to have that go-get-it attitude. He had it there. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll try and run it in with Bell. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinks. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell taking it in. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And Dalton hands to Hill. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll come out in the pistol. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And Dalton to throw. And Tate's got it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Penalty marker is down here. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line.
Holding offense. Still 2nd down.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff looking right. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wheaton with a catch right side. And he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Surveying the field. And caught right side, Green. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go there on the spike. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. One last shot for Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. All right, Charles, so you win the game. Not only do you get the W in the left-hand column, you get some momentum for the coming week.
Now when you go into the week and you're telling the guys what mistakes have to be corrected, what we have to do to win going forward, you have their full attention. They're excited, they're happy, and they know if they can build that momentum, they can ultimately achieve all their goals.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.